Mama, those Yankees are Yankeeing again. Check this out. 7-3 in their last 10. And that includes a 10-4 win over the Mariners on Monday. So let's get New York Post Yankees beat writer Greg Joyce on the line because this squad continues to put together team wins. Greg, is actually pretty astonishing what they're doing, man. Like, if you think about it, a season high 18 hits on Monday night. Aaron Judge is doing what Aaron Judge does best, especially in that 10-4 win. They brought their bats out, my man. I guess I just got to ask you, can this team maintain this level of offense?
Yeah, well, it certainly helps when you have Aaron Judge doing what he did last night with 2 home runs. Also takes one away in right field. I mean, it's just every day with him. It's like he's kind of one-upping himself. He's got 11 home runs in the last 15 games, so leads the American League with 17 home runs. He's really just been on a tear ever since he came back from the IL. So when you have him clicking the way he is, he can put a team on his back any night. But then last night you had guys like Willie Calhoun, Jake Bauers, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa all have big nights. So that always helps when you have kind of that unexpected part of the lineup to contribute like that. Gleyber Torres had 2 hits out of the leadoff spot. Kyle Higashioka had 2 hits. So it's really up and down the lineup last night. Everybody was pitching in. So, they're capable of having nights like that. Maybe not 10 runs every night, maybe not 18 hits every night. But, when you have those supporting characters chipping in, not just Judge, that's a huge help because, as much as Judge can often put the team on his back, he can't always do it alone. So to have nights like that when everybody's kind of chipping in and having some unexpected contributors, it's always huge.
Yeah, it's like they got Oprah in the locker room. You get a hit, you get a hit, you get a hit. I mean, this team is truly balling out. And I mean, if you think about where the other teams are in MLB right now, injuries have kind of decimated a lot of these rosters. Things have kind of been looking on the up and up for the Yankees in terms of injuries, but Harrison Bader left Monday night's game with a hamstring injury. How serious does that look? And you think that the club is kind of concerned that he's facing yet another issue?
Yeah, I think there's got to be a little bit of concern there. He's going for an MRI today just to determine the severity of it and whether or not it's going to require an IL stint. But, it's hamstrings are never a simple injury there. He kind of felt it. He was racing out an infield single, kind of felt it right as he was crossing first base. It sounds like felt it pull on him is what Aaron Boone said. So, he said that the medical staff didn't think it was too serious, but, with a hamstring, it's never a simple thing. It's, it can be a nagging thing if you don't give it the time to rest. So wouldn't be overly surprised if it turns into an IL stint, but obviously that's, they won't know that until they get some testing on it today with an MRI. But, that'd be a big loss. Bader's been a big spark plug since he got back from missing the first 30 games with a strained oblique. So if he's forced to miss more time, that would be a big blow for them. Like you said, just as they're starting to get a little bit healthier too.
All right, we're talking injuries. Of course, I've got to ask. Every time I get you on here, I ask you about Carlos Rodon. He is on the Yankees West Coast trip. What's his status? When do you think he's going to be back in the rotation? And at this point of the season, what will his return mean for this club?
Yeah, so he threw another bullpen on Monday here in Seattle. So that was his second bullpen since, the back flare-up and when he got injections in the back earlier this month. So he was kind of starting from scratch there. He had been building back from the forearm muscle strain in April before the back issue cropped up. But so now he's with the team. He's throwing, it's expected that he's going to throw 2 more bullpens on this trip out in the West Coast, which could put him in line to potentially start facing hitters by next week. And then he would get on a 5-day routine where, probably a couple live batting practice sessions. And then after that would be a rehab assignment if everything goes well. Overall, it seems like he needs a spring training, right? Because he made one start in spring training before the forearm issue popped up. So spring training is 6 weeks. So if you put 6 weeks from when he got the back injection in early May, that kind of leads you to late June, early July as a potential, timetable for his return if everything continues to go well, because he's got to build up. It's not going to be a quick rehab assignment. Probably going to need 4 or 5 starts on that rehab. So whenever he gets to that point, then obviously you can start to track out a calendar for when he actually might return. But right now it looks like late June, early July, maybe a little bit more likely. But yeah, that would be if they get him back healthy, that's big. We've seen what the return of Luis Severino has done. He's looked pretty sharp in his first 2 starts back. Severino was frustrated about how they slow played his rehab a little bit, but obviously it looks like, made the right decision there with how sharp he's been since he's been back. So and they're hoping that they get the similar results from Rodon whenever he returns, and kind of bolster their rotation even further.
Yeah, keep that momentum going for this team. They're playing lights out right now. Greg, enjoy Seattle.